Alright, I want to start off this video with a little mention for Eco Rock. The company is named Animac. They make Eco Rock. More on that in another video. But right now, I wanted to discuss these NBA Finals as they stand 2-0 Phoenix leading the series. They've won 2 games at home, held serve, if you will. Anyway, I want to do this today. I wrote out a little something. Let's see how my writing is. More than anything, it's about shooting. Suns making shots, Bucks not. That's the easy take. Let's go into a little more depth. Giannis was super impactful, but the combination of him leaving points at the foul line, coupled with Holiday's inability to knock down open looks from range with any consistency, guaranteed this 0-2 hole. Chris Middleton needed to do his thing better in game 2 as well, make more shots. But really, and look, you guys have seen some of my videos already. My very first one was about Jrue Holiday, how he still has, but he's had the opportunity to go to the superstar level in this league if he makes shots. And I'm going to get to that in just a minute. We'll wrap this up momentarily. Let's look at the notes still about this game, but also the game in general. The glaring omission, we'll call this segment, or am I tripping, right? Let's talk specifically about Jrue Holiday. Once again, never met Jrue. I've kept up with his career, and he is top of the line in every respect as a human being. He's a family man. I've never seen any dirt on him. I've never looked for any. But we're going to stick to the game itself right now. If you're not a Jrue Holiday fan, I think you have to admit, if he was hitting open jump shots and he's getting tons of open looks, and it's not like he doesn't have great form, and that doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not how, it's how many, but he does have beautiful form. And I'm just wondering why, where in the past, he's knocked down a lot of shots, and he still knocks down shots, but he's getting a lot of open looks that if he's hitting those things, he's giving his team a chance to win. That's the bottom line. I'm not putting this whole thing on Jrue Holiday. I'm really not. I'm just saying that steps up. Everything else gets easier. Middleton, he steps up, and he has. And Chris has been up and down. He's been fabulous some games, hitting big shots. This series, the last series, whatever. But he's also, and I know shooting comes and goes. I know these are givens, but they're worth repeating. If Jrue, and here's the glaring question, or maybe I'm tripping, and I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I want to be right up front with that. I think the huge question, this whole scenario, if you want to nitpick in a certain area, and I do right now, is Jrue Holiday putting in the requisite time, I'll put it like that, on the jump shot. And I'm talking about in the gym by himself. Maybe he has. Maybe he's just not destined to shoot it as well in big moments as some of the superstars in the past have. And keep in mind, all the great ones have missed tons of shots in big moments and all that, but they've hit some too. And right now, Jrue is not knocking down open looks. He's doing some unbelievable stuff on the court. He was unbelievable most of the time defensively last night. How about his 2 blocks? One or two of them right at the rim on a 7-footer, no less. And anyway, but it comes back to generating offense in this league. It's hard enough against a good defensive team, and both of these teams, I think, are outstanding defensively. I don't see how you could argue that. There's length on both sides of the court. Matter of fact, I saw early in game 1, Milwaukee's length was bothering Phoenix a little bit. They're heavily contested shots. Even Booker was struggling, even though he has struggled a little bit before game 2, and then he brought it back around, I think, ignited by CP3, but we'll talk about that later. But one other note on this series, and I know you guys know this, but isn't it glaringly evident that Milwaukee offensively is not only not generating buckets, but they're not doing anything, I don't know, let me take the high road, cohesively to make that happen. It's still too much isolation. And don't get me wrong, Giannis has been very effective at times and all that, and even starting to make some mid-range jump shots, and that's fantastic. And once that comes around, you can forget it. Just like same thing with Zion Williamson, and I don't want to get sidetracked on Zion, but once Zion has a reliable mid-range jump shot where it's deadly, then it's over. Same thing with Giannis. But right now, within the context of this series, 5-on-5 as it were, Phoenix knocking down threes at a high rate, still against good defense. But last thing, the offense will come around for Milwaukee. When it does come around, their defense won't be taxed so hard. You know how it has a way of doing that. You guys know, you played the game. You've maybe even coached or taught or whatever. If you're rolling offensively, unless the game's just 154 to 149 or whatever, it's gonna, it's gonna help you defensively, because you're staying right with the other team, and if you continue to defend at a high level, maybe you'll figure them out a little bit better than they will figure you out offensively. But in Game 2, Phoenix figured it out, early in the second quarter offensively, and started to roll. And Milwaukee, excellent effort, not questioning that whatsoever, and still getting after it defensively. But Phoenix, man, they have those three guys, CP3, Booker, and Cameron Payne, who is just outstanding speed-wise. And, couple of turnovers here and there, but for the most part, very effective in what he's been able to do. Not only him generating shots for himself, but for his teammates. He's very difficult to keep in front. That's been a part of the equation. So there's a lot of things that are going into this 2-0 lead. But I think more than anything, and once again, those open looks, who's going to make enough of those? And, hopefully in Game 3 and on, Milwaukee gets their stuff together and they start making jump shots to help Giannis, and Chris gets it going, and especially Drew Holiday gets it going. I think Connaughton's played well. He was the only one knocking down shots in Game 2, it seemed like. And Portis has been outstanding the whole year, but not that effective in this series yet. Those things turn around. Hopefully we'll have a good one. Appreciate you tuning in. See you next time. Basketball Cheat Sheet today sponsored by Animac, makers of Eco Rock. Catch them on the internet.